Today I'm doing a full get ready with me from start to finish, featuring a new eyeshadow palette, and the best part is you're getting 4 ladies for the price of 1. Let's get started. Welcome back. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. I'm so thrilled about today's video because you're getting 4 for the price of 1. There's actually 4 of us midlife ladies collaborating on this particular video, and you're going to have the chance to see us each put together a different look because we're all a little bit different in our styles using the same palette. And I'm so excited about this because as we get a little bit older, we sort of develop our own particular style, and finding someone who we resonate with can become perhaps sometimes a little bit of a challenge. So today you're going to have the opportunity to see 4 different ladies, all of a certain age, using the same palette and putting together a look. And you'll be able to follow along each of us and get an idea how we work with makeup, how we work with a palette, and what our particular style is. So I'm super glad you're here. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And I want to encourage you to make sure you stop by all the other ladies and see what they're doing. They're all wonderful, and I'm thrilled to be collaborating with them today. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you'd like to be, just go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below. Make sure you click that like button and the notification bell, and YouTube will give you a heads up when there's something new for you to watch. I want to share with you a little bit about the ladies that I'm working with today, and I just love and adore each of them, all for different reasons because they're all so very different. The first one, of course, is my girl Jeannie over at Get This Glowing. If you know her, you know why I'm just so charmed by her. She is the makeup maven. She's just the YouTube makeup darling. That girl loves makeup like no one I've ever met, and knows more about makeup than anyone I've ever met either. From her, makeup is like Christmas morning every morning. She loves it and she knows so much about it. So if you don't know Jeannie, I really encourage you to go on over to Get This Glowing and check out her channel. Make sure you're subscribed and become a fan of hers because you will really love her. The second gal that I'm sharing this time with today is Lee from the channel LoveLee. Isn't that just the cutest name? I just think it's so clever. So her name's Lee, her channel's name is LoveLee, which she is. She's just a little love. And she has the most fun to watch YouTube channel because she is so relaxed and so comfortable, and just like she's sharing with a girlfriend. It's like you're sitting in her living room just having a chat about skincare and makeup. You will actually love her. She's beautiful, she's charming, she has the world's best megawatt smile. And what I'm really looking forward to see what she puts together today too, because she has such a pretty classic look. And the last gal I want to share with you, and certainly not the least, is you might know her, Wendy from My Life Wendy. She has such a wonderful channel and a great fan base and knows so much about makeup. But what I love about Wendy so much is her kind and gentle manner. She's just so calming and encouraging and a lover of makeup, and just does such a beautiful job of sharing her finds and her favorites with her audience. So make sure that you go over to all these ladies, visit their channels, click subscribe, become a fan, and I think that you'll really enjoy following each of them along on their journey, and you'll learn so much about the really good makeup and skincare out there for all of us. This video is going to be a full get ready with me. As you can see, I don't have any makeup on at all. I have done all my skincare and I have prepped my face with primer. Of course, I'm using the e.l.f. Putty Primer, which I'm actually just in love with right now. It works so well for me. And on my lids, I'm using, let's see, where did I put it? Ah, here it is. The Milani eyeshadow primer. I love this stuff. This is great. If you haven't tried it, it's a great drugstore price on an eyeshadow primer. I've done my eyebrows because no one wants to see anybody do their eyebrows. It's kind of boring. And you know what I need? I need to pop something on my lips so I can have a little moisture while I'm doing my makeup. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get something on my lips. Okay, I'm back. I've got something on my lips. I am using the Milani Keep It Full in the color Rosewood. I'm loving this. This is a color that I got for fall in their Keep It Full line. I love these. They're almost a little bit addicting because I have very many colors now, and I hope they bring out a lot more colors for fall. At least I'm not seeing any at my drugstore yet, but that doesn't mean they're not some in the lineup. So Milani, keep it full on my lips. The palette that we're all going to be working with today is from Pacifica, and it is the Beachy Punk palette. And this is just such an interesting palette. I'll put it right up here for you. You can see it's just some beautiful colorways, and I think there are a few things that stand out about this palette that I'm really loving. The first of all is this lilac color over here. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm really tempted to work with that today, but I'm not sure yet. And then this lime green, oh my golly, wouldn't that look just beautiful with sort of a pumpkin colored sweater for fall? I just think there's so much that can be done with this. There's a blue slates color here that I think is lovely. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hop in and start using this palette, and we'll see what happens. And here's the interesting thing, because we're all working with the same colors, it's going to be really fun to see what everybody does, because we all have different tastes. So I'm just as curious as you are, because we're not sharing what we're doing. We're each doing it all on our own, and then we'll each watch it when we post our videos. So let's go ahead and start in. I'm going to start in with this color right here, and I'm not seeing any color names on the palette, so I'm just going to need to point them out. I'm going to start in right here. It's kind of a medium beigey tone with just a little bit of rose and a little bit of brown in it, and I'm going to start working that into my crease with this crease brush right here. This is one of my favorite brushes, so here we go. And when I'm working with establishing the crease on my eyes, because heaven knows the skin on my eyes is a little bit different than it was when I was in my 20s, I always start above the crease, and I don't lift my eye up. I just really place the brush right there and start working back and forth. And once I have that line established, then I can work down into my natural crease here. If I started at my natural crease, when I opened my eyes, you wouldn't see the color at all. So that's kind of the reasoning of why I do that. Now that I have that transition shade worked into both eyes, I'm going to go back in with a blending brush and really blend out those edges so it's nice and smooth, and there are just no hard lines anywhere with that color. Now I'm going to go in with my flat brush and just tap it into this really kind of light pink peachy shade right here, and I'm going to work that all over the movable lid. Just going to start by tapping that on, and this is really going to be a base for the color that I want to put on top of it that I have in mind. So you know, while I'm doing this, I want to talk a little bit about the mature beauty community, which I have an opinion. And that is that it is such a warm and lovely community of women, and there's just support across the board, and kindness and sharing, and just a lot of really good warm vibes in the community. And I have an opinion about why I think that is, and I'll share it with you, and then you can put it down in the comments below if you tend to agree. What I think it is that when you get to be our age, and I'm assuming you're not in your 20s or 30s, or maybe not even 40s, that you're maybe closer to 50 or above. I'm 62. You know, when you have a little bit of road behind you, when you've had some life experience, like someone who gets to be that age has, you know, there's heartbreak, and there's disappointment, and there's family challenges, and, you know, there's just a lot that goes on in a lifetime. And by the time you get to be a little bit older, like I feel like I am, just going to go back in with a blending brush and just blend that in between those two colors. You just got a little bit of, you know, life under your belt. And all of a sudden the choice becomes, I just want to have fun. And I see that so much with the women in the YouTube community that are a little bit older, that it's all about having fun. You know, some of the women were busy with family, and there were budget issues, and they just didn't wear makeup for all the time that the kids were growing up, and now it's their chance to really enjoy makeup and to be able to buy makeup and use makeup. Other women maybe have a career that they've done, and maybe it's not as exciting anymore, and this is an opportunity for them to be creative on another platform. There's just so much richness and warmth in this community, and I think it's because of the life experience. So if that's, you know, your take on it as well, or if you have your own take on it, go ahead and put it in the comments down below on, you know, how you see us older women that are jumping onto YouTube and doing these beauty channels and having so much fun with it. Now that I have the lid color and the crease color all blended in together, I'm going to go back in with a small brush and I'm going to dip it into this really kind of dusty slate blue here, and I'm going to start defining the outside edge of the eye and really adding some depth to that area. So with my eyes, I have to take this brush and tap it on in the beginning, because if I start moving back and forth like a windshield wiper, that skin's just going to move with it. So I just start tapping a line from the outside corner of my eye all the way up on that outside edge of my eye. This is such a pretty color. It's kind of a gray blue, gray slate blue. It's really pretty. I'm liking it. So just tapping that color on the corner of the eye and all the way up to kind of where that transition color stops up higher on my lid. Now that I have that color in both eyes, I'm going to take my blending brush and just not really move that color around so much as just blend out those edges into the other colors there. I have that blue worked all in with my blending brush, and I moved a little bit of it over into the V that you can see there, just to give a little bit more depth to that area of my eye. Now I'm going to go into this shimmer shade right up here. It looks like kind of a rosy taupe color. That's the best that I can describe it. Here, let me swatch it on the back of my hand for you. It's really pretty. Can you see it right there? So I'm going to take that color on my finger and I'm going to pat that over the lid. Just to add a nice pop to that shadow color on the lid. Isn't that pretty? Just adds a little bit of shimmer to the lid color. I think that's so pretty because it really draws attention to that area of the eye. So to finish up the shadows on the eye, I'm going to take my flat brush and I'm going to dip it into this kind of creamy, the pinky creamy color that we started with on the lid. And I'm just going to get a little bit of that on my brush and I'm going to run it right under the eyebrow area, just to add some more definition and a little bit of lift to that eyebrow. So for complexion today, I'm using the Revlon Candid foundation, and I actually brought this out of my basket. It's been there for a while and I haven't used it, so I really wanted to see how I felt about it. I'm in the color 120 and you can see I'm working onto my face. It might be a little bit light, a little bit yellow, but we'll work with it with the foundation and see if we can't make it look just fine. Once I've worked my foundation in with my foundation brush, I always like to go back in with a sponge and just tap it out. It just has such a beautiful flawless finish that I haven't been able to duplicate doing anything else. So this is really an important step for me. So you guys, before I started this video today, I put some chili in a crock pot. It's smelling so good. I can't wait to get done and go have some chili for lunch. It smells so good. You know, it's kind of crisp and fall here. I live right on the ocean. Actually, I'm looking at the ocean right now. So it's cool and a little bit breezy in those really crisp, cool mornings. So I'm excited about my chili. For concealer today, I'm going to be using a new product, and I actually talked about this in my drugstore haul. This was really recommended by Risa from Risa Does Makeup. She's a makeup artist, a freelance makeup artist, so her bent on makeup is really more high-end. I really tend towards the more affordable drugstore makeup. This was the first concealer that she liked from the drugstore and actually emptied the tube on it. So I thought, well, I'm going to go check it out. I hadn't really heard much about it. It's from Maybelline and it's their Super Stay Concealer. So I'm going to give this a whirl today. I've used it a couple of times before. I haven't really drawn an opinion quite yet, but it comes in a little tube and it has a tiny little doe foot applicator, and I just put a couple of dots, just a little bit in the areas that I need it. You know, with concealer, at least for my skin, because I have so many little nooks and crannies underneath my eyes, I try to use as little product as possible. It's kind of that tipping point between it looking cakey and it covering the dark areas. So I just try to find that happy medium. Sometimes I'll tap my concealer in with a brush, sometimes with my fingers. Today it was just because I didn't want to go looking for the brush, so I'm using my finger. And then I go back in with a pointed beauty sponge that will get up into that area of my eye right here, and then I'll just start tapping that in. And you know, I usually almost always set my concealer with a very finely milled powder. I'm not going to today because the one thing I've noticed about this particular concealer is it doesn't seem like it needs setting powder. It seems a little drier when it dries down. So I want to wear it today without any powder, without setting it, just to see how it what happens. I generally always need to set my concealer because I have so many fine lines underneath my eyes. But I'm going to give it a whirl today and see how I like this. I'm going to go in with bronzer now. Today I'm using the Revolution Ultra Bronze. This is a huge pan of bronzer. I don't know that anybody would hit pan on it in their lifetime. You can see it has just a little bit of a reddish tone. I like it. I don't know that it's so much one of my favorite bronzers, but I certainly like it and it does the job. So I just use a big fluffy brush. This is from e.l.f. And I just generally start in with up by my hairline, particularly with bronzers, because if I get too much on my brush or I don't like the color of the bronzer, I have the opportunity to just kind of hide it in my hairline and it's not in the middle of my face. So I'll start up there and then just work my way down, kind of contouring a little bit with the bronzer with this big fluffy brush. And then I always go underneath my chin in an effort to create a shadow because my chin is not as firm as it used to be. And this seems to give me a little bit more definition on my chin line. For highlight and blush today, I'm going to be using a palette from Ofra. This is the Madison Miller, and it has actually 3 different pans in it. Blush in the middle, and then I use the highlighter over here to highlight, and then I kind of use this little bit darker color over here as a blush topper. The blush itself doesn't have any type of shimmer or glow to it, so I use this blush topper because I have kind of gotten used to having a little bit of glow in my blush, and I really quite like it. I'm going to take my e.l.f. tapered brush and I'm going to tap it into the highlight color over here and just start applying that to just the tops of my cheeks and up above my eyebrow a little bit on both sides. And then I always like to put a little bit on the front of my cheeks. I've kind of gotten used to doing that. I might be a little bit more glowy than I need to be, but I'm certainly enjoying it. Once I have that highlight on, I'll take my big fluffy brush and I'll just go in and really shear it out so that it has a little less can see it from space look to it. Now I'm going to tap into the blush, and this is just the prettiest color of blush. I'm really enjoying it. I just tap that to the upstairs area of my cheeks. I don't really bring the color to the front of my face because my cheeks are not as high as they used to be. And by doing this, I'm kind of giving the illusion of a facelift by bringing that blush more on the outside upstairs area of my cheeks. And I'm going back in again with my big blending brush and blending that out. And then back in with the e.l.f. tapered brush, and I'm going to tap into the more pinky highlight color here and just put a little bit on that blush area just to add a little bit of sheen and glow. I'm really enjoying that. I have my complexion all done with foundation and bronzer and highlighter and blush and that sort of thing. And the next step is going back to the eyes and doing mascara. But before I do that, I'm going to go back into the Pacifica palette with a tiny little brush right here. Let's put the brush side up right here. And you know, I have 2 of these and I want to show you what I do. I have 2 of these. One is dark and one is light. And when I'm going to be using a light shadow, I'll use the one with the lighter bristles, like if I want to just highlight right underneath my brows. And if I'm going to be using a darker shadow, I'll use the one with the dark bristles. It's just a little tip that I use that makes my beauty life easier. If it's useful for you, and I hope it is, that's a little something to think about. So I'm going to take the dark one and dip it into back into that slate blue color. Just get a little bit on that brush, and what I'm going to do is run it right under the outside third of my lower lashes. Now, I don't really wear mascara or anything on my lower lashes anymore because of the texture underneath my eyes. I don't want to draw attention to that area, so I really kind of let it be. But I do enjoy having just a little bit of definition And what I'll do is I'll draw that up and connect it into that darker color in my upper lid area. So that just really kind of defines that outside corner of my eye. You can see that just that little bit of slate blue underneath the outside corner of the eye just really adds just a little bit of pop, and I enjoy it. I'm going to pop up right now, and I'm going to tight line my eyes and do my mascara, come back and we'll do some lips together and set my eyebrows and take a look and see what we've got. Well, I have my mascara and tight lining done. For mascara, I used the love of my mascara life right now, the Essence mascara. I love this stuff, and I am trying a few other very highly rated, highly talked about drugstore mascaras. Gosh, I'm still on the fence about it because I'm still loving this the best, but I'll keep trying to see if I can find anything else that I love as much as the Essence. This is $5. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer. And to tight line my eyes, I used the Ulta gel pencil, and I get those from the Ulta website when they're having a sale. I just buy a bunch of them, and they're just only a few dollars, and they work terrific. And if you haven't seen me rave about this either, you know, it's frustrating to get a beauty pencil and then the tip breaks off, and then you go to sharpen it and then that breaks off. I don't like this. I found this sharpener from Ulta. It's only a few dollars, and it works wonderful. Every time my pencil goes in, my pencil comes out better instead of worse. So I can highly recommend this if you've got some either lip pencils or eye pencils that are not sharpening well. This Ulta pencil sharpener, I've had a really, really good luck with it. So that's a tip for you right there. So for lipstick, I have chosen a Maybelline color, and this is one of my new ones that I got for fall. It's number 376. I'd love to tell you what color the name is, but I can't read it. I can't see that. But I thought it would be a beautiful color for fall. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this, the rest of the Milani, Keep It Full, that's on my lips. I'm going to line my lips today with the Whipped Caviar pencil from NYX. I love these pencils. They're just always so good. And you know, gosh, one of these pencils will last such a long time. They're just a great value as well. I always try to line towards the outside edge of my lips because my lips are not as full as they used to be. And then I'll go back in and just smudge it a little bit to make it look a little more natural. So here we have the finished look. I really think the eye look came out very, very nicely. I'm enjoying this palette. This is again from Pacifica, and the things that I can say about this palette is there was no fallout, which I thought was really amazing, and I think the color selection is really beautiful. So you might want to give this a try if you haven't picked up a palette that has some really interesting, fun, unique colors. You know, I can't wait to dig into this lilac and to tap into this lime green. I think those are such pretty color choices, and I think that would make a great eye look. And you know, as far as the complexion products go, you know, I'm still okay with the Revlon Candid Foundation. I can't say it's one of my favorites. And I will mention that this Maybelline Superstay, it seems to really work as far as covering up under eye discoloration. I think I am going to have to set it though, because I can already tell it's kind of settling into my little nooks and crannies underneath my eyes. So I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. Make sure you hop on over to the other gals' channels and check it out. Won't it be fun to see what each lady did with this particular palette? Make sure you drop by and see Jeannie at Get This Glowing, LoveLee at LoveLee, that's her channel name, and Wendy at My Life Wendy. They're all wonderful gals. Make sure you hop on over there, see what they did with this palette, click that subscribe button, and become a fan of all of them because they're wonderful women, really worthy of your support. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50. You know, it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. If you're new here or if you're from one of the other girls' channels, welcome. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Again, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day. Make it a terrific week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.